All right, before I start this video, just want to shout outs to Rob Nagy for being a punk. You got that? You hear that, Rob? You're a punk. You want some clout for talking about multicolor stuff? Well, here it is. Here's your clout. You did it. You made it on an Eggman video. Tell all your friends. All right, let's start. All right, hey everyone, Egman here with another video. This one might be a bit of a doozy, but it's something I feel like is really relevant right now. And honestly, it's something that I've seen just like a lot of toxicity about, of just people saying just read the card. And with all these multicolored cards and just adding the aspect of, oh, a card can be more than one color, there's just been a lot of tricky rulings and just edge cases, and I just want to cover as many as I can. I want this to be an open resource so people can understand. Please do not comment just this is easy or anything. Like, don't even troll, please. All right, I just want this to be sure that people know how to play this card game, and I don't want people to feel dumb or inadequate just because they don't know how any of these specific cards work, because it's not easy, and sometimes I feel like I trip over these stuff sometimes. So it's just something I want to make sure that people can kind of understand going forward, and realize also with I think the Infinite Saiyan rares just added another layer to all this, and just the confusion of the bad translation. I'm going to go over that too. If you're not part of the team, the cards needed to be eroded. I'm definitely on that team, and so if that dissuades you, then just leave this video. Okay, it's not for you. So without further ado, let's talk about these multicolored cards. So we've got, for example, here we've got this Bojack, which is a blue-yellow card. What does that mean? It means that this card is a blue card and a yellow card at the same time. So based on how they've developed this game and rulings and all that, that means that if something it calls for a yellow card, it can be this card. If something calls for a blue card, it can be this card. But if it says something specifically blue and no other colors are specifically yellow and no other colors, this card is null and void for that. That is the basis for how this game works. In other games, when it says it's looking for a blue card, it might not be able to choose this because it's blue and yellow. But that's not how this game works. This is how Dragon Ball works, and I've seen a lot of people put in rulings from other games, and those probably do work for other games, but this is how this works for this game. And another argument people have been saying, like the fact that, oh, if you look at cards and they have more than one trait, and you're asking for a card that has like the Saiyan trait, what if you have a card that has two traits, like Saiyan Earthling? Does that count as a Saiyan? Based on that and just everything else, yes, it does a Saiyan. You get to choose if it is a Saiyan, and the only way you can make it as a mono Saiyan is by specifically saying if it's a Saiyan and no other trait. It's something that I really want to nail into this, and I feel like there's some confusion, and I really just want to say that. And once again, if you think traits are different than colors for this game, it's not. They're treated the same way logically. All the logic for this needs to be all the same, and so something that has more than one traits can be that one trait. If something has a couple traits in World Tournament, then it's a World Tournament card, and it can be put in announcer, etc. Right? So that's how that works. I'm probably over-explaining it, but I just want to be clear. All right. So there we go. So let's go into some cases. So first, let's just talk about this. Let's just get this out of the way. So Bandai made these ISRs, and when I first read this personally, and I'm going to read the uneroded version for it first. It says, if you have any non-red cards in any area other than your deck, hand, or life, you can't play this card in any area. That is the original ruling, or the original permanent for it. And based on the strict logic for this, it does not mean that if a card is red-green, it doesn't matter. Because based on how the non-logic keyword for this game works, it has to strictly not have the part here. So it can be, if we look at this from King Saiyan Vegeta, the new leader coming from the expert deck, it says you can't include non-Saiyan battle cards in your deck. And that means that if you have a card that's Saiyan Earthling, you can still put it in this deck because it still has the Saiyan trait. Based on the original writing for this card, it says that you can't. It would assume that if you have a card that is both red and green, it still counts for this, and it's still okay. This was not what the people who made this card, this isn't what Bandai wanted. They strictly wanted cards to be for monocolor decks, and that's completely fine. And I think another hung up part for this is that people think that people are trying to cheat this card, and that's definitely not the case. We're strictly reading the ruling and going from there. So after that, a lot of people complained, hey, what's the ruling for this? And then Bandai came out and said, oh, so this is how we're going to rule this card. Multicolor cards have two colors. They have a red color and, like for example, for our Bojack, it has a blue color and a yellow color. And what they ruled was that when an ISR or anything like this with the non-keyword looks for something, it says it looks for that card and says, oh, it's blue and it's yellow, so it's 100% blue and it's 100% yellow, and since it's 100% blue, then it can't go through this thing, right? It's saying that every card has to be, using the non-keyword, it has to say it has nothing else of the other traits or colors. That's what they were implying with that ruling, and that's how they were doing it. And alright, Bandai wants this card to work with monocolors, and I'm totally fine with that. And that's, if I'm really not trying to cheese this, right? But the reason I got upset was because it wasn't consistent with how they made it. And I made this handy dandy Venn diagram here to help prove my point of why this wasn't consistent, and I understand what they were trying to do, but they just needed a different wording for it. So we've got our King Vegeta leader, and if you don't know what a Venn diagram means, is that if a section is colored, that means it's okay, and if it's not colored, then it's not okay. So we're going to look at this logic diagram for King Vegeta. So if we are looking for cards that are non-Saiyan, that means that non-Saiyans, if we're looking at cards that are Saiyans, Saiyan Earthlings, and Earthlings, cards that are non-Saiyan are strictly the cards that are Earthlings. Saiyans are fine and Saiyan Earthlings are fine, but not Earthlings. Alright, next. If we're looking for not non-Saiyan, this is the opposite of non-Saiyan, which essentially means a lot of this is also obscured because there's a double negative in all this. It says you can't include not non-Saiyans, right? So a not non-Saiyan means that there are cards that are Saiyan and Saiyan Earthling. So that's why when you build cards with this deck, you're able to put cards that have the Saiyan tag and anything else as long as Saiyan is one of them. And then thirdly, I put a third pie chart just for only Saiyan. And this says cards that you're looking for that are only Saiyan, and I could probably even extend this to Saiyan and no other trait, then you just have this part of the pie chart right here. So that's how it's worked for any of the leaders that have this condition. For example, all the way back to Tournament of Power over a year ago when they have the Goku and even like the Zeno, it says you can't have cards that are non-Universe 7 or Universe cards. So that's what this means. This is the same logic for just King Vegeta, which is a newer card. Next. So, and then we look at the Nappa, or any of these ISRs, based off the ruling that they made on July 19th. And so what they said is non-red means that it's this section, including this middle section here. So if we do the inverse of this, so it's not non-red, then we see this red part here, which is, yes, what they were trying to accomplish, and based on this ruling, yes, they would only be able to get solo mono red cards in this part, but this can also be accomplished once again by saying only red and parentheses no other color like they've done previously. And so if you look at these two charts, you notice that there's an inconsistency of when this middle section counts for each of these different statements. And so that's the part that was really upsetting to me, and that's why I was really enthusiastic about changing this, because I felt like it was something that could cause a lot of confusion in the future. And since this is the first push for multicolor cards, having a solid and consistent ruling for all these helps out a bunch. And when they did make the ruling, we're just going to skip to that real quick. So we look for the errata. And so on the 20-something-ish, like 24th, they made this announcement. And so we'd like to apologize for any confusion caused by the text for the Infinite Saiyan Rares in DBS Series 7. To clear up the confusion, we're issuing erratas to these cards to make them consistent with the way non was used on previous cards, which is awesome, right? So if we look at this Nappa now, it says you can't play this card from any area if you have cards in any areas other than your deck, hand, or life that are any color other than red. Perfect. This is concise. This makes sense. It follows all previous things, and I don't think anyone would have any confusion or have any inkling of saying, oh, so I can play some red-green card. No, you can't. It says so right there, and there we go. All right, so we're like 10 minutes of me ranting about these ISRs, and now after that I want to talk about some of these other cards. So if you have any questions about any of this, by the way, please leave me a comment. And also check the comments below. I should have said this at the beginning. I definitely could get something wrong in this, so if I did, I'll make a pinned post saying about all the things I'm wrong about. But I really just want this to be a good resource for people. So that's that. And then so we're going to look at some other cards that have caused confusion. So the other thing that causes confusion is that there's kind of two different ways to declare something as multicolored, and there's specific reasons for that. So, for example, we've got this Beerus Fickle God. It says, if there is a card that is both blue and yellow in your energy other than this card, negate this card's energy exhaust skill in all areas. All right. So, that says, and I think there's some other cards like that too, right? The spoilers for other cards. Did I put them in? No. All right. Never mind. I like this Goku too. This Goku Black. This says the same thing. At the end of his turn, if there's a card that is both blue and yellow in your energy, draw 2. Choose one card in your hand, place in your drop area, then choose one blue or yellow energy, switch to active mode. All right. So pretty much how these work is that it's looking for an energy with both these things, right? And the tricky part about this is different wording from a card like this Champa, which is some of these new cards coming out. It says specifically, if a multicolored card is in your energy, reduce the cost of this card in your hand by 1. So what that means is something completely different than a card that has both blue and yellow in your energy. So looking for blue and yellow means, and it's really honestly comes down to this Vegeta leader right now. This is the card that's causing so many headaches and a lot of people questions. And so the reason this is, it says all your Gokus and Vegetas in all areas gain red, blue, and green colors, which means that if you have those cards in your energy, then they have, oh look, red and green. Wow, look, I probably should have done red and green, but let's say you're charging a yellow Goku, right? Now it has all 4 colors, right? How does that interaction work? So with Beerus, you can do this, right? You have a card that is both blue and yellow, and that's fine. Same with Goku Black. However, Champa, the Trickster, is completely different. It's looking for specifically a multicolored card, and a multicolored card is a trait by a card that says it checks the original colors. Essentially, they've ruled that a card that is multicolored is one that originally has two or more colors, I guess, on the actual card, not inherited in any way. So it's the same thing as like if a card says, look, summon a card based on its original power, energy level. This is the same thing for that. For multicolored cards, the term and definition for multicolor means a card that does have both colors. All right. It's confusing. It doesn't make sense. I wish right now it only makes edge cases for a single leader. I almost wish they would have said if you have a multicolored card that was both blue and yellow, that would have been a lot better. And maybe just forgot all that, Vegito stuff, but whatever. So there's that. That's how that works. Multicolored specifically looks for a card that has the 2 colors on it. If you can see the 2 colors on your card, then you're fine. These cards don't. And then kind of a contrast. And this is this card and like this Trunks, this one here. Both of these were pretty good evidence to me of why they got the ISRs wrong and why they could have been better. So, like for example, this Gogeta, it says you can't play this card from any area unless your leader card is a Saiyan card and it is red and no other color. So this is foreshadowing. We're getting a multicolored leader later, but the way that it says red and no other color implies that you can only have red, right? And that's what they pretty much made these erratas for these multicolor set, right? No other color that are any color other than red, right? The negative is shifted around, but it's the same idea of, oh, you can't have like a red-green leader with this effect. You have to have specifically a one that's red. And the same thing for Trunks here. At the end of your turn, if your leader card is blue, you may choose one battle card in your energy other than Trunks for Forerunner of Hope that is blue and no other colors that has an energy cost of 3 or less than 15k power or more and play it. If you do, add this card to your energy. So this is looking for a card that is specifically blue and no other color, and that's very clear, which means, logically, if it does not have that qualifier of no other color, then cards that say, oh, let's talk about this Trunks. This was popular on Facebook. At the end of your turn, if all your energy is blue, choose up to one of your blue battle cards with any cost of 3 or more, and add up to one of your energy, and then switch to the active mode. So, if you have all that completed, that means that you can untap one thing and one of your blue battle cards. Great? Yes. Fantastic? Meh. But the fact that it's just looking for blue energy, and it's just really looking at the blue cards. So if you've got, let's say, 2 of these in your energy and a Beerus, right? All your energy is blue. It's not saying only blue. It's saying all of your energy is blue, which is slight and different, but it's not qualifying for only blue. It's just making sure that each of your energy is blue. If I'm repeating myself and going crazy, that's just because I feel like there's so many people who are just like arguing the other side, and I promise you that this is all true. Promise. All right, and until they make an official statement to change it, that is, they can do whatever they want, and then I'll fight it and then go from there. But just the fact that this card is looking for just blue energy, and a blue-yellow card is a blue energy, you are fine. And then lastly, I'm just going to talk about Dimension Magic, and I should maybe start with this. So, negate the attack, then choose up to 2 of your blue energy, switch to an active mode. So if you have a blue-yellow energy in rest mode, like they tend to do, you can just use Dimension Magic and untap it. Boom. All right, that's pretty much all you have to say. Are there any other cards? Maybe like what, Dende, the leader? Yeah, this guy. Choose, what is it? If you draw 2 cards, choose up to 2 of your blue energy, switch to an active mode. Yeah, so if you have blue-yellow stuff, you're good. The last thing, there's like a Vegeta that was multicolor that I wanted to look at. That's, it's from like the new tournament packs. Oh, it's not here. Give me 1 minute. All right, here it is. Actually, sorry. And when this card attacks or is attacking me, choose 1 card in your hand and place it in your drop area. If you do, choose up to 1 battle card in your drop area that has both blue and yellow combo within your combo area. All right, there we go. Cool. This also means that you can use this with cards that are in what? So if you put this in like their OG Vegito, and you've got a yellow Goku, it's yellow and blue, and it doesn't say only yellow and blue, and there you go. And there's also, what was it? Vegeta. There's the Green Monkey 8 Vegeta. I remember seeing this rolling, which sounds right. All right. When this card is placed in a drop area from a battle area by a skill, you may choose 1 red card and 1 green card in your energy and switch them to rest mode. And then if you do so, choose up to 1 Vegeta card that is both red and green in your drop area with energy cost 6 or less, and play it. All right. So what you're supposed to get is, let's see. What you're supposed to get is, oh, I did green, like it's silly. I'm gonna find it. This is a really well planned out video, I swear. Come on. Ah, okay. Here it is. All right. So you're supposed to get this one, right? But guess what? If you look at, if you have that Vegeta leader, it really is just this Vegeta leader just causing headaches for everyone. Oh, combo cost. Yeah, card cost. Yeah. Oh, it's because I wasn't on 1. Yeah, that's right. There we go. So, look, you can get another one of these because if you have it, because it's a Great Ape, it's a Vegeta that's a 6-drop, so you can just keep doing these infinitely and having fun from there. There we go. And you can put this in your drop area, and then if you do, choose up to 1 Vegeta, so you can choose itself and go back. All right, there's a cheese combo. Have fun, do it. All right. That's it for me though. I hope someone got some insight, just someone. All right, this is not easy, and once again, I just wanted to let people know the correct rulings, and maybe I did that, maybe I did something wrong and made a mistake, and please let me know about that, and I'll try my best to fix it. Check out the comment section and the pinned message of me telling about just how much of an idiot I was and doing, with something I said that was completely wrong. And I think that's going to be it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope someone got from this something from this, and I'll catch you all next time.